Hello, this is the Timeless Tarot, and today's reading is going to be for the sign of Sagittarius, and it will last for the next 4 to 6 weeks. I've laid out a spread, so let's go straight to the bottom of the deck, and we've got strength. Strength is always an inner struggle. What with? We don't know, so I'm going to take the top card to see. Ah, interesting. What's clarifying strength is the happy ever after cards, the 10 of Cups. It's also the card of families. Strength also is Leo season. So it could be that something is going to strengthen in your partnership during Leo season, perhaps. Or maybe that you're going to come into some sort of partnership with great potential in Leo season. Strength is a bit of a funny card, really. It's the only card in the deck that talks of internal struggle. And you can see that there is a perpetual loop going on above her head here. So this is something that you've been struggling with for a while. It feels to me like you've had quite a lot on your mind, and it has to do with partnership, family, and how to move yourself into a better position. As I said, it will last for the next 4 to 6 weeks, possibly slightly longer. Right, at the centre of the reading, it's just what I was saying. You've been taking time out to contemplate your future, I think. The Hanged Man is hanging upside down in order to get a different perspective on life, to take a different view, to look at things the other way round, to try and work out or see things from the other angle or from the other person's point of view even. The golden haze around his head signifies the fact that actually he's gaining enlightenment. If you feel like you're not making much progress, I think you're wrong actually. I think you are making progress, but it's in terms of working things out. There is no tangible progress to be seen yet, but mentally and emotionally, I think you're gaining clarity on the situation that you've been thinking about, which I think is all to do with love, family and future, and how to live your life going forward. So you're gaining enlightenment. Now, what is slowing you down, what is crossing this, is Temperance. Temperance is the card of flow. It's also the card of balance. So perhaps you have not been fully balanced recently. Maybe you could have been gaining more enlightenment by being more moderate or more temperate in your actions, perhaps, and behaviours. Or maybe Temperance is an angel as well. So Temperance is guidance. It could be that maybe you've been not listening to the guidance, and so your enlightenment is going to be slowed down because there is some sort of guidance trying to come in that you have been resisting. But I think deep down you know that there is something more serious that you need to focus on, and I think that's why we have the card of strength here, and I think that's why we have the Temperance card crossing the Hanged Man. So there is some sort of enlightenment that needs to come in. I think you need to be a bit more amenable to allowing guidance to come in from wherever it needs to come from. And once you allow that guidance in, once you allow that to flow in, then I think everything will become a little bit clearer, and your current situation where you are on pause as the Hanged Man will go and things will start to move. That's what it feels like anyway. It's a necessary pause, but you're making it longer than it needs to be by not allowing guidance in, basically. On the face of things, well, if you are a masculine Sagittarius, I think maybe you have a feminine on your mind. You may well have met the feminine of your dreams, a loving, caring, kind individual. It could be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but not necessarily a potential partner. And I wonder if that's what the struggle is, that you're trying to gauge whether or not you can get this into a longer term situation, and if you can, how do you do it, possibly, or whether to weigh up if it's too soon to make that sort of step. I think there is a loving woman on your mind for sure. If you're a feminine Sagittarius, then I don't know what it's talking about, so let's get a clarifier. Well, we have the 9 of Cups now. This is starting to feel like it's very definitely a love reading. So if you are a feminine watching this, I think you are coming into some sort of relationship that is potentially going to turn into something much more long term. It's going to give you everything that you want. This is the card of wishes coming true in the minor arcana. I think whether you're masculine or feminine, I think you've come into, or you're coming into, a really good partnership, which has got potential for the future. So we'll see. In the underneath position, well, quite surprising really, or amazing, I could say, we have 2 aces. Now the aces are divinely presented, so these are gifts from the divine. The gift of a new home, a new property, it could be a windfall, a large sum of money, it could even be an engagement. That's the Ace of Pentacles. And then we have the Ace of Wands, which is the card of dynamic energy and force. You're being gifted the opportunity to make changes. Now these are in the hidden position, and what came with these 2 cards was the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a very quiet card, and this is in the hidden position. Where you've had a struggle going on and where you've been on pause, I think probably you know that you've been gifted the real deal. I think you probably know that in your heart of hearts. And I think if you're in connection with somebody, you probably know it's got great potential to go long term. This is the real thing. If you're not in connection with somebody yet, then I think you will be. And it will be with somebody who gives you everything that you actually need. Why have we got these gifts on offer here? I think really what it's saying is you have the potential to start making changes. Start making changes to do with the home and to do with taking action is what it feels like. But this is in the hidden position, so this isn't obvious to everybody. The plans that you might have been thinking about, that you've been struggling to work out, to do with whether to take things forward into a family sort of way, or what to do about a family, or how to progress, and the things that have kept you on pause have been a struggle. But the struggle here is an internal one, and Strength and the High Priestess really are opposite energies. The High Priestess knows everything without really needing to be told, and the Strength here is struggling with what they need to find out. So these are opposing energies. So it feels to me like you actually know what to do, but you've been struggling to try and work it out anyway. It's sort of like you're going against your own guidance. And do you remember a moment ago, I was saying that although you could be receiving angelic guidance, and I actually now think that that guidance is coming from you. So I think that you know already what it is you need to do. I think you know that you can take action, and I think you know that you can propel things forward the way you want, but you're just a little bit unsure. Perhaps this relationship isn't that long. Perhaps you're not quite sure whether you should be taking things forward or not, or perhaps it just doesn't feel very easy. I think the relationship is easy. Perhaps the idea of trying to work out home and family is not very easy. In the past position, we've got the card of manifesting. Well, and this is the thing, you've got what you wanted. In the past, you managed to manifest what you wanted. So you've got a life that you want, you've got a partner that you want, you maybe have a job that you want, but what you haven't got now is the ability to move things forward. Or so it seems. Because I say or so it seems, because if we go to the past, the present and the future now, we've got a nice run. So you have been able to manifest in the past, okay? You are currently on pause whilst you're thinking about what to do. But in the future, we have victory. Now, this is particularly victory after a battle. And don't forget, strength here is a bit of a battle. So it feels like you're going to be making a great breakthrough. You have been struggling a bit and you are still trying to work things out. But you will get there. You will work things out. You will be able to move things forward, and you will be victorious in the future, which is wonderful news. And to be honest, I actually feel a bit like these two cards are working together here. It feels to me a little bit like however you were able to manifest in the past, you need to harness that energy to get it into the future. And I wonder if that is what has felt a little bit difficult, that you're not quite sure how to harness the power of manifesting like you did in the past. So whatever you did previously that got you where you wanted to get to, and however you managed that in the past, you're struggling to find the ability to do that again currently, is what it feels like. But you are going to manage, because this is victory in the future. So, and don't forget, you've got these great cards here to help you. And you also have wishes coming true. So whatever has been feeling difficult and a bit of a struggle, and that you've been stuck and on pause, something to do with family and the home, I think, and partnership, that is going to resolve itself, and you are coming into victory in the future, which is brilliant. In the personal position, we have the Seven of Swords. Sometimes I read the Seven of Swords as a 5 and a 2. If you read it that way, is choosing a battle. So in a personal way, you've been choosing a battle, and that's what I was saying a minute ago. You've been choosing to make this harder than it needs to be, is what it feels like. All you have to do is allow things to flow naturally. Stop worrying about how you're going to progress in the future, because you've already got the card of victory there. And in a personal way, you can release this feeling like you've had to choose a struggle. You don't have to struggle. Let's get a clarifier for it as well, though, while we're here. See if there's anything else we need to add. Right. Well, there we are. That's exactly what I was saying. A battle. There are other people involved here. So perhaps the business of moving yourself forward the way you want is being made difficult because you have to consider other people. I think so. If you're being mindful of the other people around you, then I think that is a good thing. All these cards are positive, and I'm not going to view that as a negative. Yes, it might be a little bit tricky to unpick right now while you're gaining enlightenment. You need to allow a better level of flow to come in for guidance, but you are going to be victorious. So even if it does feel like things have been a little bit tricky and you've got other people to think of and you're not quite sure how to progress at the moment in a personal way, I would not worry, because that is going to change. In the home position, we have the Two of Wands. This is looking out there. This is possibilities. What's out there? Where can I go to? How can I live? Where can I go? What sort of home can I have? This is the main feeling I was getting at the start, that this is to do with home and family. You're ready to make a change here. You're ready to propel yourself forward in a different direction from the one that you've been currently living in. And I think the one you've been living in, you've been in for a while, and you've needed to be in it for a while, but you're starting to get itchy feet and it's time to move things forward. And I believe that is what's going to happen. In the hopes and fears position, we have the Queen of Swords. So this is our second queen. And I think really it's talking about the fact that you are able to cut yourself off. You are able to do some clear thinking. In a hope position, can you find the clarity you're looking for? Yes, you can. In a fear, maybe you're fearing being separated from a powerful woman. I suppose that could relate to anyone, really. Let's have a clarifier for the Queen of Swords. I think it's talking about the fact that you can actually be decisive. Well, interesting. Generally, I don't read reversals. I normally have all my cards upright. But this one has fallen out upside down. And it's the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is an ending and a new beginning. But reversed, I think maybe it feels a bit like you're worried that it could be the beginning of the end. I think this is an unnecessary fear that you've got. Unfounded fear, actually. And maybe that's what this is, really. Where I was saying you have possibilities and you want the possibilities, perhaps actually you're a little bit afraid to take any of them. And so in the hopes and fears position, I think really it's talking about a major change. You're fearful of making a major change. You have got the ability, the clarity is coming to you, particularly if you're a feminine Sagittarius. If you're a masculine Sagittarius, it could be that your partner has to take charge of this situation because feeling a little bit overwhelmed is another way of looking at it. And also it could be that you're just not happy with the options that are in front of you, I think, if you're a masculine. It's like you want to get to this position, but the options to get there aren't good. And I think this is all tied in with the Two of Wands here, trying to, looking out there to see what there is and how to go about getting to where you want to, but not really being very happy with what's there. And I think that sort of ties in with this Queen of Swords card. You can see that all the options aren't brilliant, but it's not really phasing you. Something is going to change. It needs to change. Life is all about change. That change is coming. You will find a way, is what it feels like. And at the outcome, we have two lovely cards. The Two of Cups, which is true partnership, which is what this whole reading is about, really. And the Six of Swords, and this is moving forward from a difficult position into something much better. It's also moving forward with somebody else, and even as a family. And so this is exactly what I was saying at the start. This has the feeling of, how do we progress this to the next stage? And the first thing to recognise is that you are with the right person. That's the first thing. To recognise that you're with the right person. If you're not in partnership yet, hold on. Get ready, because you are going to come into partnership pretty soon, I think. This whole reading feels like it's about partnership, and I think we're already in one. This is just going to confirm to you over the next 4 to 6 weeks that this is the right partnership for you, and that you want to move things forward together into this really loving family situation. So I think these cards are all really positive, and I hope that that has brought some clarity. Just wonder if I might have a look at the bottom of the deck, and here we are. I was saying before that really it was feeling like the feminine Sagittarians this month are feeling more comfortable than the masculines, but at the bottom of the deck now we have the King of Wands, who is the Sagittarius king. So I think if you're a masculine watching, you're going to be feeling a lot better and more into your own energy as the next 4 to 6 weeks progresses. And don't forget, in the future, we have the card of victory. At the outcome, we have the card of true partnership. And so whatever has been a bit of a struggle going forward, you don't really need to worry. You're moving forward into something much better and into a really good partnership that is going to propel you forward into a happier family situation. Wow, what a lovely reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe so that I can read your energy more easily, which will help me to do more accurate readings for you and your situation in the future. And if you would like a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. But until the next time, this has been the Timeless Tarot. Goodbye.